dying to know, like, what was the horse like?
I had a feeling that one was coming. It was honestly really cool, like just being able to see just a different take on how he approached like leadership and just teaching the horse like what he wanted it to do and what he wanted to receive from the horse. It was pretty cool, like not your average experience at dev camp, but I thought it was a different way to approach kind of that learning about leadership. Just how he taught the horse like just little commands like staying still, and then when he wanted to push its rear around so it doesn't kick him in the face kind of thing, like just how he went about teaching the horse. I think it's like honestly a little crazy to say that you could apply it into a dressing room, but I think you could. Just the way he approached it, like he first wanted to gain respect from the horse and then build that trust with them, and that's something you can try and do with your teammates. That's definitely going to be beneficial in the long run. So definitely a cool experience, but a lot to learn as well.
Yeah, what was the reaction when you guys got there and kind of, the initial reaction to it?
Yeah, I mean, we first walked in and it smelled horrible. So we were like, okay, what are we in for here? We didn't know if we had to like ride horses or something. So that was interesting, but kind of just gathered around. He explained what he was going to do, and just took notes really of what we were learning and how he approached teaching that horse how to become one that he'll be able to ride in a week. I think he said 8 days usually takes them. So that was cool to see, but yeah, it was definitely a cool experience.
So before coming to Toronto, did you know that was a thing that was on the schedule that you were gonna do?
No clue. Actually, last night my dad texted me. He was like, "What's this horse about?" And I responded with like a question mark, as I had no idea. And he sent me like some tweet where they were talking about Haley was talking about the horse or whatever, but didn't release a whole lot of info about it, so I wasn't really expecting anything really. But yeah, it was a cool experience.
You must like something like that too, because I would imagine some of these camps, you're not running the mill, but kind of the same thing. So you have a little bit of a curveball thrown at you. That must be a bit of a
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always cool to experience something new at Def Camp and figure out a new way to learn what you're going to be able to use in the real world. So just taking different approaches. I don't think you can ever have too many opinions, but just pick the ones you like and take the most information out of the stuff you like as well. But yeah, definitely a curveball, but I think all the guys liked it.
I know there's a lot of off-ice kind of stuff and kind of speakers and kind of discussions during this camp. What do you learn about dealing with pressure at a camp like this?
Yeah, we had a session with MC. She's like a sports psychologist, and her whole session was really just about pressure and like your mindset. And the big thing was pressure really is a privilege, and just kind of reframing that, getting away from that, treating it as anxiety, just treating it as a privilege, because it truly is. There's not a lot of people in the world who can do what we do on a daily basis and have that at their fingertips where they can really just take advantage of it and make them better. So yeah, I think it's definitely a big part of becoming a good hockey player, and something that they focus on a lot at this camp. So it definitely helps us, all those little thoughts and reframing is beneficial for everyone here, so it's great to touch on that.
What are you hoping to take away from the on-ice stuff after another season in Michigan?
Yeah, I mean, I've been chatting with the development staff a bunch, had a conversation with Haley today. Just stacking, really, taking little things that myself, my coaches back at Michigan, and the development staff here believe I need to focus on, and that'll help me take my game to the next level, and just building on top of that every single day. Focus on a couple things each skate that I want to get better at, and just work towards perfecting my craft every day. I think the biggest thing is consistency. So just taking that into everyday approach, can't take a day off, and I think that's definitely going to be beneficial for me. I feel great right now. I feel like I'm in the best shape I've ever been, so still got a lot of summer left and just looking to take advantage of that.
What was summer like?
Sorry?
Here for the summer?
Yeah.
What did you take away from last season?
A lot of things, honestly. I think last year was a great learning curve for me. Didn't have my greatest season, but that comes with a lot of lessons and a lot to take away from. So I'm really excited for this season. I've put in a lot of work already and looking to continue to do that for the rest of the summer. But a lot of lessons that came back with me from last year, just how hard it truly is to be a great college hockey player. But that's definitely, last season's definitely going to benefit me as a player moving on, and I'm really looking forward to next year.
Is there anybody here that you kind of want to you learn from, if you will? I know Ben Danvers saying yesterday that Tana's been a good source for him. Anybody come to mind for you in that regard?
Yeah, I think someone who I've skated with a little bit since I've been here, coming back from Michigan, Scott Lawton, similar sized player to me, and he's been in the NHL for 10 plus years now, so he definitely knows what he's doing out there, and just being able to skate with him, ask him questions, is, even though it's been real quick so far, I'm looking to continue to do that for the rest of the off season here and just build little things he does well into my game, and just continue to benefit from all these great players who train at Ford over the summer as much as I can. So looking forward to the rest of this offseason.
What did Lawton tell you that kind of resonated? He's a pretty engaging personality.
Yeah, he's a great guy. You know, came up and introduced himself to me as soon as I got on the ice. So I think the biggest thing when we were skating the first time was just like how patient he is with the slot shots he takes. Like we were doing little shave ice drills with releasing pucks in the slot, and just watching him make it look so effortless was really cool. Just that extra split second he takes where he's not in a rush to release it and just changes the angle just a slight amount, really opens up so much more room for him. There was one rep where he went like 3 in a row, just exact same slide and shot, top right, and I was just like, this guy makes it look so easy. So just taking away those little things that he does well, I think it's going to be beneficial for me, and just continue to pick his brains over the offseason.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks guys. Appreciate it.
So we're trying to get to the bottom of this. What was the horse like today?
Yeah, it was a good experience. Obviously, it's good to get out of the hotel and kind of do some team bonding with the guys, but it was a new experience and it was fun today. Yeah.
How can it help you? Like, it's from the outside, it's like, what can you as a hockey player take from this?
Yeah, they were saying that horse is kind of like a younger horse, obviously, in its development, and they're kind of relating it to us being in development camp, and they're kind of training it to be a race horse, and we're kind of developing our game to go pro soon. So yeah, we kind of took that in our own way.
What was the initial reaction from guys when you got there?
Yeah, I don't think a lot of guys knew what was going on. I didn't know if we were going to be riding the horses or what was going on, but it was cool to see, obviously, see what those guys do for a living, and it was really cool to see.
Nick was saying to us that, but he didn't say it. I suggested these camps might be a bit of run of the mill at times. So when you have something like that that's completely different, What does it do for you?
Yeah, it's nice. Obviously, you're kind of focusing on hockey the whole year, and then you come to development camp. We were at the Raptors training facility, shooting some hoops there. That was fun, and then we go see this horse and see what they do. It's kind of just nice to not always be focused on hockey, get your mind away from the game, and
but know that still applies.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
What have you learned about dealing with pressure? I know you've had guest speakers and talking discussions. What have you learned about dealing with pressure at this camp?
Yeah, I think pressure, it's a privilege, and I think you should be honored to have pressure because it's a big moment, and just kind of take that to yourself and take your game to the next level.
What guest speaker has resonated the most for you so far?
I would say probably Wendell Clark. He was on the first day of camp. He came in and did a little introduction video, and we just saw some highlights from his career, and it was pretty fun to watch. He could hit, score, do everything, but he was pretty cool to see.
What do you hope to take away from this development camp specifically for you?
Yeah, it's my third camp now, so kind of a lot of familiar faces, way more comfortable now. Just always trying to meet more people, more staff, and just feel more comfortable coming in every year and just keep improving my game every year.
Is there anything like this summer that you want to work on as you go into another season?
Yeah, I put on a little weight, a little strength, so try and use that to my advantage next year, my third year of college, and kind of use the body more, but obviously still be able to be an offensive player too.
How much did you pack on?
I think since my freshman year, I put on 20 pounds. I won 195 now, so kind of been there for a bit now, used to it, but just kind of, developing my game to be able to play it that way.
Outside of size, how do you feel like you've grown over the last year?
Yeah, I feel really good on the ice right now. It was a good practice today. A little more puck touches today, more scoring, but I feel good. Yeah, my game feels like it's in a good spot right now.
Have you run into any of the current Leafs at all since you've been in town?
Not really. I've seen a couple faces around, McMahon and Tavares on the ice, but yeah, it's been cool to see them around here.
Thanks, Hudson.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Kind of a different thing this morning. What was the horse like?
Yeah, it was really cool. I've never been to something like that before. Horses are a lot bigger and more muscular than I thought in person.
What do you take away from that? Because from the outside, it's like, okay, what can a hockey player take from a session like that?
Yeah, the horse trainer taught us a lot of things. I thought critical thinking in that situation, able to thrive under pressure, and just sticking to your process. He had a process that he goes through with every horse, and kind of feels it out, and I think that could translate really well to hockey.
What was the biggest, I guess, surprise or wow moment, if there was one, like where your eyebrows kind of went up?
Yeah, when he was putting the saddle on the horse, once he got around 10 feet away from him, the horse went absolutely ballistic. So it's pretty weird, like seeing a horse jump up and down, the amount of force it can really put on you.
What's next for you? You're going to Michigan, is it?
Yep, Michigan State.
Why did you choose them?
You know, I just thought that's going to be the best school for my development. You know, a lot of good players come from that program, really good coaching staff as well, and I thought it's going to push me every day.
With the changes to the way the NCAA is accepting kids from major junior, I'm just curious what your thoughts on that developmental process is now.
I like it. I think it'll make the NCAA a lot better.
Would it have changed your approach had that option been available to you when you were starting out in the junior level?
I mean, for sure. It was a new rule this year, but I was already in Fargo and I wanted to really stick it out there.
How do you feel like you grew this season? From the start of the year to the end, like where do you feel like you grew the most?
I think in my defensive game, my defensive abilities, I thought I learned a lot, from our head coach there, and we'll bring it next year.
How much can you learn from someone like Muzzin, who I know was here last year, but again, back again?
He's a really good defenseman for the Leafs, especially. I remember watching him. We did a lot of shot blocking with him last week, and I think just those little details he helps with a lot.
What have you learned about how to deal with pressure at a camp like this? I know you have guest speakers and discussions about it. Like, what do you learn about dealing with pressure?
I think you just gotta live in the moment. You really gotta embrace what you're going through, and just take it. Second by second.
What speaker has resonated the most for you so far?
I really liked Landon's nutrition seminar yesterday. I really enjoyed that side of things.
What did you learn from it?
Just a lot to do with sports performance and feeling, how to feel properly, and meal timing.
So what will you kind of, I guess, take from that and apply now moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I started applying as soon as I learned it yesterday. With these camps and my summer training next season, I think it's going to be really important.
When it comes to the in-season playing and developing and training, who with the Leafs has sort of been keeping an eye on you? Is it Haley, somebody else? And how much do they sort of interact with you?
Yeah, mostly it's Joe Underwood. He's a skills development guy, and Trevor Bartoli, the roving strength coach.
What's that like for you?
It's awesome. They do a lot of in-person visits, Zoom calls in your game, and I think I use them well, and they're really good resources to have.
Like last year, you golf with Tavares. Like, have you run into any of the current Leafs at all this week so far?
Just a few of them. It's really cool to see them in person and kind of introduce yourself.
Any moments stand out? Like anyone that you talked to that was kind of cool that you're like, oh?
Nothing too crazy. It's just cool to see them in general.
How many are around?
Just a few of them.
Cool.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.